Hi friends, welcome to free online tech videos. My name is Ravi. In this video session we are going to see about firewall-cmd command line. So how you can manage your firewall rules on latest version of Linux like Centos 7.5 or RCL 7.5, okay, Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7.5. how you can manage your firewall rules. So how firewall rules works and how you can protect your system against some unauthorized person to access your details or access your system. Okay, so let's now first of all, the firewall will basically is nothing but a netfilter, which is in the kernel module. Netfilter which will runs on the kernel, then it will filter your inbound and outbound packets. So whenever it is allowed to the certain IP addresses or certain people or the certain VLANs, then it will allow to that people, which is if the traffic is blocked over the system, then it does not allow other person to communicate to this machine or other person to get the information from the system. So it is a protection to your system kind of stuff on the port level. So it is not a file level or service level, so which is on the port level. If the port is allowed, then you can send any traffic using that port, okay, or the same type of traffic to the system, or you can access the traffic from the other system. Okay, how we are going to do that? So maybe this session is little going to be long because it has more options to do it, and you have to understand a little bit more. So first of all, IP tables and firewall is the same, but IP tables has a different options, or the firewall-cmd has a different options. So now in new version we are not going to use anymore the IP tables. So first of all, both the IP tables and firewall-cmd uses the net filter from the kernel mode. So we have to switch on only one at the same time. So if you on IP tables, you have to switch on the firewall-cmd, or if you on firewall-cmd, you have to switch off the IP tables. So now what I'm doing is that I'm going to you have to stop it, then you have to mask it to other administrators do not enable it back. Okay, so IP tables you have to mask like this, then again you have to mask IP tables 6 also. Okay, 6 also you have to mask, then you can verify the systemctl status of IP tables. So the service is masked, then it is died, so no need to worry about it because IP tables is not going to be switched on back. And now we are going to use only the firewall-cmd command. So if your firewall is not installed, so you have to run install -y firewall-d and firewall-cmd or firewall-config. This is the options you have to execute in your mission in order to install your firewall commands like the firewall related packages, and bring on the services and start using the firewall to protect your machine. Packages is already installed. I am not doing anymore over here. I am just terminating this command and going ahead. Okay, systemctl status, and let's verify that firewall D is running or not. So our firewall D is running and it is okay. Now it's also enabled mode. Okay, our status is fine. Now if this firewall D is not enabled, then you have to do a systemctl enable firewall D. Okay, firewall D dot service. Okay, you have to do like that, so it will automatically enable the firewall service. Let's verify that firewall-cmd. so this is the command you have to execute. Then I wanted to see that what is the default zone over here. Okay, default zone. So get what is the default zone. So I'm using my default zone is that public. Okay, so if you want to set something different, then you can also set that another zone is the default. Let's example say firewall-cmd, then --set default zone equal to the zone name you have to give. So again I am setting the public is also default zone because it's already public, it says that. So the public is successfully set. Okay, so you can also now check it up what is the active zone, because most of the default zone is only the active zones always. Okay, get active zones. So how many zones are there? There is only one zone which is active and which is pointing to the interfaces that ENS33. Okay, what is the version of firewall I'm using over here? Firewall-cmd version. The version is 0.4.4.4. okay, let's start writing some rules over here. So firewall-cmd, first of all, zone public, which is pointing to where, in the sense which interface, which is pointing to list interfaces. So ENS33. if you want to make other interfaces, other interface, you can add this interface using the firewall-cmd -add interface equal to what is the interface you wanted to add. Okay, interface name -zone and which zone you would like to type. So okay, I wanted to type the public zone over here. So you can do like this. Okay, that is just a command example, so it's already added, that's why I did not execute that command. If we want to remove that thing over here, you can also remove using the -remove interface. Okay, and provide the interface name over here, which is the maybe ENS33. I wanted to remove this one and add and public zone. From public zone I wanted to remove the interface over here and you can add it back. Okay, firewall-cmd and get all the services, which are the services are currently it accepts. So these many services are you can directly provide with the service name. Okay, if other than these protocols, if you wanted to add, you have to add their TCP port number, adding the TCP/port number. Okay, so this is the things you have to do. Then one of the thing is that, so first of all, what are the services or what are the protocols currently added over here, list over all. So in this I do not have much. The services is on only DHCP v6 client and SSH is only enabled through firewall. If I wanted to access any other services, I cannot do that because the firewall is not allowed to that services. Okay, if you want to verify that what are the ports are enabled on zone public zone public, then list ports. So what it will do, it will list out all the ports which are enabled. So I do not have any port which is added over here. I'm just now I want to make some rules over here, is that add the permanent rule. You can also add temporary rule. The temporary rule which makes that whenever your system is rebooted, the temporary rule will go off. If you add permanent, if your system is rebooted also, your rule will be back after restart also. So I'm adding the port. Okay, so I'm add manually. Port number is that 88 something like that. I don't know what is this port, but I'm just adding that 88 port number, okay, to the list of firewall ports. Like this you can add, or you can also add particularly pointing to this one. What it will do, that it will add this port number to the public zone, which is the default zone. Okay, if you want to add the same rule or the same port enabled on the other zones, okay, you can also use zone equal to public or zone equal to the zone name -add -port, okay, equal to number /tcp or udp. What is the port number? You have to do that, so that if other than the public, if you provided other zone, that port number is going to be added to the other zones. Okay, now if you want to remove over here, so after every command, if the effect is, if you want to take effect, then what you have to do, firewall -cmd -reload. You have to reload the firewall rules every time whenever you add the new rule or remove the rule, so that it will list out in the services, or else it will not affect until unless you reload the what are the rules you added. -list all. Now you can take effect is that the ports are added is that 88 port is added to default zone, and the active interface is ENS33. You can also add the firewall rules using the -permanent, okay, -zone equal to public. So I'm adding the rule to the public zone, -add service. Okay, what is the service you have to add? HTTP. Okay, because so you no need to remember the port number what is behind the HTTP, it automatically adds that port number in the backend. Okay, you can also add HTTPS over here. And if you see firewall -cmd -list all, then it may not show over here because we did not reloaded the service. You have to reload the service all the times whenever you refresh or add or remove your firewall roles. See this, now HTTP and HTTPS protocol has been added to the firewall. Like this you can add a number of rules, services or port numbers. You can do that. And you can also, if you want to have, if you have the bulk protocols, okay, you can also add that bulk protocols using the XML format. Okay, let's example say that I wanted to create some file with the rules. Okay, file dot, or you have to edit that /etc firewalld. There is a XML files, okay, here, and you have to add, you have to edit that files, then add these rules to that. Okay, how we are going to make that? So example I am going to show over here. It is that in the file, so how you have to write the XML files. Okay, so the XML tag is that here, and question mark, put XML, and what is the version of XML you are going to use, and in bracket just mention the version of that. Maybe I have to add the equal to over here, version 1.0 XML 1.0, and encoding, what is the language you are using over here, which we call it as UTF, the number, what is the number of things you are going to add, and close that question mark over here. So this is the XML tag. Then which zone you want to add, you have to specify the zone and specify the short name, in the sense that which zone you are going to add. So my zone is public, and then I'm going to that short over here, closing that short tag over here. then add the description. In this, add description. Okay, description, and what is that description is public zone rules, something like this, and here description tags will be closed. Now add the rules. What is the rules you wanted to add? Port number, protocol number, or what is the rules you wanted to add? Example, I already have some rules written over here, so this is the rules I am writing, and close the zone part over here. That's it. So instead of adding the each and every protocol manually, then what you can do over here is that you can make this XML file and transfer this file to the firewall-cmd configuration path. Then these rules will be take effect automatically. Okay, if you want to add maybe some other protocol over here, just copy this rule, and I would say something like UDP port, okay, 5667, like this. So you can add these bulk protocols and services rules to the public the whatever the zone you would like to add that, using the XML file configuration. Like this, you have to add to the configuration file and reload the services. It will automatically take effect. So one more thing here is that using the firewall you can also forward the port. Okay, how you can forward the port over here? So let's example take that. So I want to forward the port from example. So here is my PC, and from external somebody is logging to the port number 22. Okay, but for him it is 22 port number over here, but inside the service is listening on something else. Maybe some different port number is that 2080, something like that. So whenever they are logging from over here, they call 22, but from whenever the request comes to the system, to the firewall will automatically redirect the request from 22 to 2080. The service is listening on 2080. So it is such a security is that the end user does not know the service is listening on this port number. Okay, that is the firewall rule we can add over here using the firewall-cmd. Let's see that how we can add that. Okay, firewall-cmd, and I am making this rule as permanent, and -, add rich rule. Okay, the rich rule is rule family equal to IPv4. I'm adding that IPv4 and source address. Okay, what is the address of the source? Example, I'm taking 192.168.4.0, maybe /24, the entire subnet I'm taking, and forward this rule whenever it is coming from that to the port. Forward port is port equal to 2080, and protocol, which protocol I would like to use? Example, TCP, and to which port? The port number may be 80. Example I am taking over here. So what happens whenever the request has been come to the 80 port, it will forward to 2080 port number. What happens whenever you add that rule? So it will forward the port 80 to port 2080, like that. So you can make some rules. Okay, you can do a lot of things over here, but I just provided a few ones. And if you wanted to block all the things at the same time, or if you wanted to do that, so you can also use a query called, okay, firewall-cmd -panic on. So what it will do, it will block entire inbound outbounding services. In the sense, you cannot even go to the system and log into the fire system as well. In the sense, it will just block everything. Okay, do not try this any of the machines, because it's everything blocks until unless you have the physical access or the console access to that machine, because you cannot directly log in using any of the service if you switch on this panic mode. Okay, you can also switch off that panic mode using the off over here, firewall-cmd panic off. So this makes again re-enabling the traffic to your firewall. Okay, like this you can make some blocks and enable the blocks. This is about the firewall-cmd command. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Please subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos. Please follow us on social networking sites. If you have any technical related questions, you can ask.